Baahubali. The beginning introduces a vast fantasy kingdom where magnificent architecture, military strength, and long-standing traditions shape everyday life. The world feels larger than life, blending royal grandeur with the lives of ordinary people who depend on wise leadership for peace and stability. The kingdom is presented as a place where courage is admired, loyalty is expected, and personal honor often matters more than wealth or status. A central theme of the film is the search for identity and purpose. Instead of presenting its main character simply as a hero, the story explores the universal desire to understand where we come from and what we are meant to accomplish. Curiosity becomes a driving force, encouraging personal growth and the courage to move beyond familiar surroundings. The narrative suggests that discovering one's true identity is not only about learning facts about the past, but also about understanding personal values and accepting responsibility. Throughout the film, identity is connected to character rather than status alone. True leadership is shown as something earned through actions, compassion, determination, and the willingness to protect others. This theme makes the story relatable despite its fantasy setting because many people experience moments of uncertainty about their place in the world. The film portrays growth as a journey filled with challenges that reveal hidden strengths and reshape perspectives. Rather than offering simple answers, it encourages the idea that purpose develops through experience, difficult choices, and the relationships we build. Identity becomes both a personal discovery and a responsibility that influences the lives of many others. Another major idea explored throughout the film is the relationship between power and responsibility. Different characters represent different philosophies of leadership, creating a contrast between those who seek authority for the benefit of others and those who value control above all else. The story suggests that strength alone does not make someone a great ruler. Wisdom, fairness, compassion, and integrity are presented as equally important qualities. Decisions made by leaders affect not only themselves but also families, soldiers, and entire communities, showing how authority carries lasting consequences. The film also examines how ambition can become dangerous when personal desires outweigh concern for the common good. Through this contrast, viewers are encouraged to think about the qualities that define effective leadership in any society. Respect is portrayed as something earned through honorable actions rather than demanded through fear. The narrative repeatedly reinforces the idea that genuine influence comes from inspiring trust instead of forcing obedience. By focusing on moral choices instead of simple victories, the film presents leadership as a continuous responsibility that requires courage, humility, and accountability. These ideas give the fantasy story broader meaning beyond its fictional setting. Loyalty forms the emotional heart of the film, connecting individuals through family bonds, friendship, duty, and shared ideals. Characters frequently face situations where personal desires conflict with responsibilities toward others, highlighting the importance of commitment and selflessness. The story portrays sacrifice not as an act of weakness, but as one of the greatest expressions of courage. Whether protecting loved ones, standing by deeply held principles, or serving a larger cause, acts of loyalty shape the emotional weight of the narrative. The film also explores the complexity of devotion, showing that loyalty without wisdom can sometimes create difficult consequences. Relationships are tested by changing circumstances, forcing individuals to decide what truly deserves their trust and dedication. These emotional struggles make the grand fantasy feel grounded in recognizable human experiences. Instead of focusing only on physical strength, the story emphasizes qualities such as perseverance, compassion, and resilience. The willingness to endure hardship for the well-being of others becomes a defining characteristic of true heroism. By highlighting the emotional costs of duty alongside its rewards, the film reminds viewers that lasting legacies are often built through sacrifice, unwavering commitment, and the courage to put the needs of others before personal ambition. The film places great importance on history and legacy, suggesting that the present is deeply influenced by the choices made by earlier generations. Traditions, memories, and long-standing rivalries continue to shape the kingdom's future, reminding viewers that no society exists without the influence of its past. The narrative explores how stories can preserve inspiration while also hiding unanswered questions. Legacy is portrayed as both an honor and a burden, since future generations often inherit responsibilities they did not choose. The kingdom itself reflects this tension, carrying symbols of greatness alongside reminders of conflict and sacrifice. Throughout the story, the past is treated as something living rather than forgotten, constantly affecting relationships, leadership, and public trust. The film encourages audiences to think about how history should be remembered and what lessons should be carried forward. Instead of presenting the past as fixed or simple, it shows that understanding history requires patience, reflection, and a willingness to question assumptions. By emphasizing the influence of legacy, the story broadens its themes beyond individual heroes and suggests that every generation contributes to the future through the values and decisions it chooses to uphold. Rather than functioning as a complete standalone tale, Baahubali, the beginning serves as the opening chapter of a much larger epic. Its greatest achievement is not simply introducing memorable characters or an impressive fantasy setting, but establishing themes that continue beyond a single film. The narrative emphasizes that understanding a kingdom, its leaders, and its people requires time, patience, and the gradual uncovering of deeper truths. Instead of providing every answer immediately, the story encourages audiences to reflect on questions about justice, destiny, leadership, and the meaning of true greatness. This approach creates a sense of anticipation while allowing viewers to appreciate the broader themes without depending solely on action or spectacle. The film ultimately celebrates courage, resilience, and the belief that honorable actions can inspire lasting change even in difficult circumstances. Its focus on hope, responsibility, and the enduring impact of personal choices gives the story universal appeal beyond its fantasy setting. By concluding as the beginning of a larger journey rather than a complete resolution, the film leaves audiences with an appreciation for its world, its ideas, and the promise that the most significant discoveries still lie ahead.